right, it's great to be here and see so many of you. Thanks for coming out. Thanks, Jay, for such a great conference. This is going to be fun, and I'm serious about that, how to buy a beachfront condo with gold. And I am going to have some fun, and I'm going to throw out some coins Mike Maloney gave me. These are silver bulls. They're not even available on the website right now. 3/9 silver. If you can guess the right answer, I'm going to keep with my tradition, throw them out. So where's the clicker? There it is. Let's deal with the elephant in the room first. The biggest sell-offs in gold and silver since 2008. There they are. Look on the left, silver down 57%, gold 29% in 7 months. The COVID crash in March of 2020 is the middle set of bars there. Look at the far right, that's our current one. This was as of last Friday. If you look and notice that gold is down as much as the COVID crash was in March of 2020. Is this environment serious enough that it warrants that kind of sell-off? No, it does not, in my opinion. So, and what happens next? What happened after all those big sell-offs in gold and silver in 2008 and 2020? Somebody tell me, what happened next? What happened next? Recovery. Can you catch? Oh, you dropped it. You got to give it back. Recovery, rebounds. Look at this. Look, silver 57% in 2008, rebounded 448%. Gold similar. Silver 2020. Look how it rebounded. Gold rebounded 40%. The green bars on the right are projection bars, and those are simply the averages of the other two. That's all that is. All right? So you tell me what happens next. All right, let's get into it. First up is how to buy a new car. Who wants to buy a new car with gold, right? These are going to be a bunch of ratio charts. I'm going to show you what the ratios have been before, where they are now, and how, yes, I think some of these big ticket items are actually going to get more affordable if you use gold. Look back at 1980. Look, you could buy a brand new, the average price new car in the United States for 11 ounces of gold back in 1980. Look where it went in 2011, 19. You can see where it is now, 27. That's actually about a week old, so it's actually probably about 28 right now. So if gold continues to rise, what happens to this ratio? Okay? I think it's likely that in the future we're going to be able to afford a new car. If you use gold, it'll be easier. How about a new boat? Who wants a new power boat with gold? This ratio goes all the way back. Now, this is an index, the producer price index, so it's not prices per se, but obviously tied to prices. Look where it was in 1979, 0.4, and look where it fell in 1980. It fell by 2/3. And what was happening in 1979 and 1980? High inflation, just like we have now, and yet the ratio fell based on the price, the rise in the price of gold. I think that's what we're looking at again. Look at 2011. It fell back down there on the rise in the price of gold. You can see we're a little higher now, so if the gold price rises, a power boat is going to probably get more affordable if you use gold. Beer. Who likes beer? This is from Ronnie Stoferle at Incrementum AG. Thank you, Ronnie. You can see where the ratio was in 1970. Look how far it fell in 1980. Popped back up there in 2011, gold bull market there, 0.21. That's actually where we are now. This data is about a month old. But it could fall almost in half to go back to the ratio it had in 1980. How about wine? Who likes to drink wine? Now, again, this is a ratio, or this is a index, so it is a ratio of the index and the price of gold. I don't have data going back to 1980, but you can see where it was there. In 2011, that gold bull market, it went back down, and you can see where we are now. It's actually not that much higher priced in gold. It's probably 0.09 now because again, this is from last month. How about a blowout vacation? Yes, a luxury resort. You and your sweetie go on a blowout vacation. How about that? Look at the ratio back in the 90s, how high it rose in the gold bear market, how low it fell in 2011, 2020. Look where it is now. It's probably about 0.17 right now. So if the gold price rises, will a blowout vacation, a luxury resort per night in gold get cheaper? Yes, it will. All right, and yes, Ladies and gentlemen, you too can buy a beachfront condo if you buy it in gold. Look at that ratio back in 1977. Again, this is the index, which is, of course, tied to prices, was 0.32. Look at where it fell in 1980. It fell by 2/3 solely based on the rise in the price of gold because real estate was going up then, inflation was going up then, and yet the ratio fell dramatically because of the rise in the price of gold. You can see where it went in 2011. You can see where we are now. This ratio could fall easily by 1/2 priced in gold if we're right about where the gold price is going. Now, do I really think all this is going to happen? Is real estate really going to get more affordable in gold? I do believe that. This chart shows the average home prices year over year change since they've been keeping records. Look at the big spike on the right. So what happens when a change, what happens when it gets stretched that far? What usually happens? It usually comes back down, right? This is from the National Association of Realtors. Home buyer affordability index has dropped to its lowest level since the great financial crisis at the fastest pace since they've been keeping records. Less demand, prices fall. On the gold side, this is something I wanted to point out. What do we always hear from government officials, right? They're always positive and reassuring, and Bernanke in 2008 or 2006, real estate is stable, right? We always hear stuff like that. And yet look what they're saying right now. Janet Yellen, downturns are likely to continue to challenge the economy. And here's the money quote: large negative shocks are inevitable. What should you buy if she's right about that? There's an IMF board director. Our ability to deal with more than one crisis at a time is very, very limited. They're actually publicly saying this. Jerome Powell, he just said this last week: executing a soft landing may actually depend on factors we don't control. The process of getting inflation down to 2% will include some pain. I wonder what asset you could buy that would protect you from that. Nathaniel Rothschild, look at this. It is important for shareholders to preserve their wealth by buying lots of gold. So I think the gold price is going to go higher. Here's another reason why I believe that. This is a simple chart of the M2 currency supply from the Fed website. You can see how high it's risen. Mike Maloney actually went back and did the math on this. There's 37.4 times more currency per person right now than in 1960 when they started keeping this record. Not 37 times more currency, 37 times more currency per person. That's how dramatic the currency dilution has been. Gold can protect you against any fallout from something like that. Okay, let me switch gears and start talking about some mining stocks. So I have different categories I'm going to talk about there. And sorry about this. But the first one is going to be, what is my favorite producer? Who's my favorite producer out there? What'd you say? There you go. That's right. First Majestic Silver. Right, and this is a coin from Gold Silver, not First Majestic Silver, because we buy from Gold Silver, right? Yeah. Can you catch? Now, why do I like this? Why do we keep talking about First Majestic Silver? Is it because production's going higher and costs are going down? If you read all their analyst reports, they all say the same thing. They have different projections about prices and all that, but they all agree production's going higher and costs are going down. Is that why I like it? Is it the potential of Jarrett Canyon? I've been to Jarrett Canyon. That thing is bigger than Dallas Stadium, okay? Tons of potential. There are probably 40 years of gold left to dig up there. Is it because they have 29 exploration drill rigs? You have a lot of juniors saying, we're going to have 2 drill rigs this year, and we're going to add a 3rd. Hey, that's great. They're juniors. But First Majestic has 29 drill rigs going right now to find more gold and silver. Is it because they pay a dividend? Is it because they get high revenue from silver? Is it because M&A is coming up? They're going to acquire another asset. They've told us it's going to be silver. It could be potentially very exciting. What's the number one reason why I like silver? Hey, look, I know Keith Neubauer. I've been to their assets. I know management. But I'm an investor. I have my own money at stake, just like you. And the reason I like it is this chart right here, this table. Look at the leverage that First Majestic Silver gives to an investor. 2016, it rose 10 times more. 2019, 6 times more. The COVID rebound, 1.2 times more. Last year, 8 times more than the silver price rose. This year, I know we're all not happy about what gold and silver are doing, but in February and March, silver rose 18%. First Majestic Silver rose 2.5 times more than the silver price. What do you think happens to this stock in the next silver rebound? That's the bottom line for me right there. Okay, I have 2 buyout candidates. How am I doing on time? I have 2 buyout candidates. These 2 companies are at the top of my M&A list because they have what majors are going to look for. If you want to concentrate on M&A targets, you want to look at what majors are going to want to buy. Benchmark Metals, that's an easy one. Updated Resources coming. It's at 3 now. 3 million ounces, going to go to 3.5, maybe close to 4. We'll see. They're de-risking the project. They keep having, thick, high-grade drill results. There's a PEA later this year. Then there's a feasibility study Q1, then a construction decision. Bottom line is they meet all the criteria that a major is looking for. That's a major buy for me. Same with GoGold Resources, a big silver resource actually down in Mexico, 151 million ounces. It's definitely going higher. One reason is because they're drilling 100,000 meters this year alone on Los Ricos north. South has the PEA coming up, lots of drill targets. All 3 companies that this management team owned before were bought out at a premium. Those are 2 major targets for me. Okay, I want to talk about 2 explorers that I'm putting most of my personal cash into right now. And before I tell you who this company is, I want to ask you, we always say people's number 1, right? So I want you to listen to read this real quick, and then tell me how you feel as an investor if you think this is a company that maybe you should look at. Doug Kerwin, 50 years of exploration geologist. He was a VP of Ivanhoe Mines. He's won an award at PDAC. David Reese, highly sought after structural geologist, world-renowned expert. James Maxwell, 20 years as a geoscientist, part of a discovery team that made 5 major discoveries. Vernon Shine, 39 years as an exploration geologist, worked at BEMA B2 Gold. Jill Maxwell, she graduated with honors in her program. Colin Burney, a geoscientist, worked at Sabina. There's 3 other geologists on staff. There's an engineer and mine builder. There's a permit specialist. The CEO helped found Reina Silver. IR has worked with many companies, including Silvercorp. The chairman has been the former CEO of 3 major companies. Does this sound like a company that maybe if you are an individual stock picker and you put people first, does this sound like a company that you should consider? That's what we're looking for. And this is not even a producer. This is an exploration company. Okay, who is it? Who is this? Somebody's got to know. Here you go. Can you catch? You can come up and get it later. Yes, Cassier Gold. I really like this company. This is going to be an aggressive year for this company. They just came out with a new resource. It was 40% higher than the last one. They weren't even planning to do a resource at the time. The parameters used in that strengthen the resource actually. Many companies actually lose ounces in that particular process. They gained ounces. It instilled more confidence to the institutional crowd. They're drilling 10,000 meters at Taurus this year. Most of it's going to be step out. They're also drilling at Cassier South. There's assay pending at Cassier South. There's going to be an analyst tour. I will be there. And what happens after analyst tour? They come back and usually recommend it to their clients. Cassier Gold, major buy for me. Pick number 2. I heard these guys started a new company, and I wanted to ask 2 questions. I knew they'd been around a long time, so I wanted to ask, what did the stocks do under their last tenure? And this is something you can do yourself. When you're looking at a company, you're looking at the people running it, find out what the stock did with the last companies that they ran. If you can do that, that tells you something. Did they create shareholder value? Did these guys? Silver Standard rose 728% under their tenure. Pretium rose 207% under their tenure. Do they know how to create shareholder value? Check. How much of their own money are they investing? You should look at this too. Do they have their own money at stake in the company? They're investing their own money. If you want me to put my investment dollars in, are you putting yours in? Not options that you were given when you got hired. Are you putting your own money in? They've invested $6 million in the stock, $750 in the new private placement that's coming out. They own 25% of all the shares. Who am I talking about? P2 Gold. Here you go. You can come get it later. All right. That's right. I'm talking about P2 Gold. This is another major position for me. They have two highly prospective properties, Gabs in Nevada, gold copper deposit. They've already got a resource on it. It's going to go higher. We already know this. There's 4 known zones of mineralization that have yet to be explored. It's open along strike. It's open at depth. There's near surface targets. There's a porphyry target at depth. If that hits, boy, look out. They're drilling this summer. There's going to be a resource update coming. Metallurgy so far has been strong. They're continuing with that. There's the BAM gold copper deposit and Golden Triangle. That's been that's a very prospective one too. And I've put that down as a potential 10-bagger for me. My super silver basket, I don't have time to go into details with them, but BlackRock Silver came out with a main resource. It was good, but the stock fell. In my opinion, I think it was because the expectation was probably a little bit higher. But no institutional investors are selling that. It was only retail that sold that. This thing is going to get bigger. The grade is already the second highest. It's only after La Chispas. So it's going to get bigger and go higher. Suma Silver, that's another one I really like, right beside next door to BlackRock. I was there this summer and visited them, or this winter. The CEO's a geologist. I really like that. 2 high-grade deposits. They're actually drilling more at their New Mexico deposit than they are at this one here, so they're pretty excited about that. Silverhammer, love this company. I've been there. 3 early stage, but highly prospective silver targets, all around previous mine workings, very prospective. You can Google my name and Super Silver Basket, and that podcast will come up. It's free. It did not include Reyna, but if I redid it, I would include Reyna right now because 3 high-grade assets in Mexico, Nevada, all 3 are getting drilled this summer. If you don't know that story, the question there for me anyway is, does Peter McGaw and company find the big CRD source deposit at GG? Shoot for the moon. These are the ones I'm really investing a lot in that I think have enormous potential. Now, you got to buy the basket, right? You never just put all your money in one. Got to buy the basket. But Stellmine Canada, I really like this company. It's very prospective. They've drilled 14 holes. We're waiting on assay results. They're going to be drilling their second deposit, which, in talking to management, they're actually more excited about Mercator, their other deposit, than their flagship one. There's going to be lots of potential there. Snowline Gold, love this company. Scott and his dad have put this together. This is a greenfields project up in Yukon. Drill results coming back so far have been very, very positive. I think this could be, if they hit, this could be another potential 10-bagger. Kraken Energy used to be Ivor. They just changed their name. I really like this. I'm invested pretty heavily in this one as well. Uranium project in Nevada. Yes, uranium in Nevada. I know, kind of different, but it was actually the highest grade 1 producer back in the day. Seen no modern exploration, no drilling whatsoever. Very prospective. Almost out of time. I want to draw your attention to number 3 there. Ladies and gentlemen, I am pleased to announce that Mike Maloney's Hidden Secrets of Money series just hit last week 100 million views. Wow, is that great? So congratulations to Mike. If you've not seen it, just check out episode 1. You'll really like it. So if anyone can tell me what Mike Maloney's personal motto is on this coin, on all his coins, all his stuff, you can tell me his personal motto, I will give you this coin there in the back. All right? Okay, thank you, everybody.